All right, so in Phasmophobia, we got a dev preview number 9, so we're going to go through that. The roadmap and progression to 2.0 development preview number 9. The roadmap has been updated, and it's getting cold. Welcome back. We've got some news for you. Any information is always a work in progress, guys, so it may change. We just have to take it for what it is. Roadmap. With the progression 2.0 on the horizon, we thought it was a good time to share how this update will be released. It's split into 7 parts. We're releasing progression 2.0, and this way the players can experience the new equipment and leveling system sooner instead of waiting around an extra 6 months. So 6 months worth of plans here. We know that there's still a reasonable amount of time between now and the update. We're working hard on releasing this as soon as possible. We also have some additional big news to share in the coming months. All right, guys, so this is the roadmap right here. Let me see if I focus it on screen here. So major updates. This happened last year. So quarter 1, we had weather 2.0. That's when we got additional weather. We got fog weather back. We had the new lighting. So everything looked so much better. We had the monkey paw. We had insanity mode added. We had challenge mode added and some optimizations. So the next update is not planned until July. So we have until July to grind our levels. So we have leveling 2.0, rewards overhaul, equipment upgrades, prestiges, evidence overhauls, and then something that's been redacted. So who knows what that means. There's progression 2, which includes new tasks, new optionals, photo overhaul, which it needs so bad. Video evidence, which is interesting. Ooh. New equipment, sound recorder, which is interesting, and then something redacted. All right, progression 3, we'll have new player models with customizations, player animations, CCTV overhaul, player customizations, which I already said, but anyway. Horror 2.0 will include new ghost models, hallucinations, that'll be really interesting. Events overhaul, new interactions, new locations. So maybe that's, what was that one called? Was it Hope Point? I think that was the name of it. New equipment, and much, much more. So I'm really excited about that. As you can see, the first part of the update will include all of the new equipment tiers, which increases our equipment's total from 20 to a whopping 60. The prestige and new leveling system and some evidence overhauls. This will increase a huge shakeup in this will create a huge shakeup in how the game feels, as well as rewards players for leveling instead of just increasing infinitely. I'm so excited for this. Once part 1 is released, we'll be moving swiftly onto reworking our photo system, adding new tasks, optional objectives, and adding a new way to earn money in each contract, including video and sound evidence. I'm really excited about that because that increases the number of ghosts you could potentially have, because there's a bunch of different combinations of evidence you could potentially have. Lastly, the third part of the progression 2.0 will add a long-awaited new character models with customizations replacing player animations, as well as a complete overhaul of the CCTV system in the truck, allowing you to navigate through placed cameras and location cameras much easier. I don't know why I read that so weird. Anyway, freezing temperatures. So this is just an example of how they're going to change some of these things. So freezing temps, for example, while evaluating our evidence types to see what we could improve, we found that freezing temperatures was another evidence that needed a glow up. Freezing temperatures has several issues of its own. And I hope you guys know how frustrating it is to get freezing temperatures sometimes. Oh my God. Temperatures weren't synced across games, resulting in different players seeing cold breath at different times. I know you all have noticed that. The thermometer has become a redundant piece of equipment outside of some very niched situations. Finding freezing temperatures was completely passive. There was no gameplay involved outside of noticing a particle effect. So this will be interesting. I've already read through this, and we'll see how this plays out, but I think it's going to work overall. Just like our green glowing friend, they're referring to dots, freezing temperatures has been completely overhauled. Firstly, Cold breath didn't make much sense contextually. To remedy this, cold breath particles will now appear at around 5 to 7 degrees Celsius and below. So if you don't turn on the breaker, this could be your averages throughout your house, especially in snowy weather or heavy rain, I think is a little bit cold. So you'll have freezing breath basically everywhere. Or as they call it, cold breath, because it's not freezing breath. This makes cold breath make much more sense, as well as increasing immersion through contracts. For example, if it's snowing and the fuse box starts off, you'll find cold breath instantly everywhere. Everywhere in the house will be freezing, or you'll have cold breath. So even in the truck. Alternatively, if the fuse box is on, so that the house is nice and toasty, you'll find cold breath appearing only in rooms where the ghost has been long enough to drop their temperatures. So how do we find freezing temps at that point? That's where the thermometer comes in. So you have to use the thermometer basically to find freezing temps, because cold breath doesn't necessarily mean freezing temps. Firstly, the thermometer is now a starter equipment, meaning you'll get a free one on every contract. So that's awesome. Secondly, you'll need to take your thermometer into rooms where you've found cold breath and check if freezing temperatures are below 0 Celsius. Thanks, Grass Bear. Thank you. Thirdly, room temperatures are now synced across players. No longer will one player see cold breath before another, and you'll get much more consistent readings on your thermometer when checking in a group. Wait, you'll get much more consistent readings on your thermometer when checking in a group. How does that work? I wonder why that works. But anyway, lastly, equipment tiers give you different ways of checking freezing temperatures and help you to find the ghost room. So for tier 1, it's this like home thermometer. It's an old house thermometer ripped straight off your investigator's living room wall. Apparently this will just be available in the house. I'm not sure. This thermometer has a slow sample rate, meaning you'll have to wait longer to get an accurate reading and may want to bring one in and check on it later on the contract. So you'll basically drop it in the room where you think you have the ghost and then check it maybe at the end of the contract to see if you have freezing temps. So tier 2 looks like the same one that we currently have. However, it'll have a different use. Instead of turning it on and getting a reading every 2 seconds, now you will have to hold and use the button to scan for temperatures. This makes running around and checking each room's temps much faster than tier 1. Alongside this, scanning manually feels much more responsive, instead of updating constantly and not knowing if it's accurate or not. And then we have tier 3. As a straight upgrade from tier 2, completing temperature scans at double the speed of its predecessor. Additionally, this more modern thermometer is more accurate with each reading, allowing players to quickly and efficiently scan the room and find the ghost or get freezing temperatures ticked off in the journal. And that's it. What do we think, guys? Not too bad, right?